Knockout Legends in the building. Like, comment, and subscribe. So, we're going to talk about the aftermath of AJ versus Dubois, and I'm going to play a clip from James Ali Bashir in a seconds out interview, and then we're going to chop it up after. So, with no further ado.
Well, in my opinion, Daniel Dubois is such a young guy. I can actually see Daniel Dubois being the modern day Sonny Liston, the way he dismantled Anthony Joshua. I mean, he walked through a firestorm of heavy punches, and he even took a couple of good blows from Joshua, and it didn't faze him one bit. So I can see Daniel Dubois being the present day Sonny Liston. Off of that performance there, I would say that Daniel Dubois is the man to see now.
What of Dubois' attributes got him through this fight? Was it his punching power, his footwork, his aggression? What was the factors that got him through against his chin, maybe, and his heart? What was it that really saw him through the victory?
The heart and his determination, his focus. He was determined to prove that he belonged, and he did that tonight. What did I tell you? I told you that the fight would not last more than 6 rounds. It wasn't a boxing match. It was a match. It was a bombs away. You get me or I get you. But we're gonna lay it on the line right from the very beginning, and you saw that.
Eddie Hearn suggested that AJ should have taken 5 minutes for an apparent low blow and put it down to Anthony Joshua's inexperience in the ring to not take the full 5. Did you see this low blow that Eddie Hearn suggested, and should AJ have taken that full 5 to reacclimatize himself?
Oh, stop it. Low blow my foot. Yeah, well, I mean, this is a fight. This is not a daycare center. So what? They got it. So you landed a low blow, but it wasn't a flagrant low blow. And if it did happen, it happened one time. It's not a tit for tat, a tea party here. So it's a boxing match. It's a for the heavyweight championship of the world. So yeah, there's gonna be some infraction, but it wasn't so flagrant that the whole fight rested on the results of it.
Oh, in that clip there, James Ali Bashir gives his verdict based off a few questions from seconds out. Now, he likens Daniel Dubois to a modern day Sonny Liston, and that comparison is not too far from the truth, because Dubois had, to be fair, his head movements improved a lot, and his coordination has also. Even though he comes through and he still takes shots, he counters, and he counters with a lot of combinations. So the Miller fight and the Hrgovic fight and also the Usyk fight have given valuable experience about resilience and also about defense and also stamina. And I think the Miller fight in particular, because it took a lot to get through that fight, has actually improved Daniel to the point where obviously he is up there as a world-class fighter. Now, the question is what will happen when he meets somebody that he can't knock out, and he has to dig deep when he has another injury, whether it's the eye or whether he gets dropped. That remains to be seen as the question. But anyway, for now, we're not going to know until he actually challenges other names in the division. But anyway, the heavyweight division is pretty stacked. There's a lot of names there. There's a lot of fighters to fight, so it will be interesting. But anyway, James Ali Bashir goes on about AJ and Eddie Hearn's comments about when he got hit with a low blow, he should have took more time. And I honestly agree with that, because Usyk took a long time, and Usyk was smart, because even if it didn't hurt him or it wasn't a low blow. He took as much time as he needed to recover, to get his breath back. Boxing, if someone gives you an advantage, take it. But because of media pressure and peer pressure with Joshua, that's one of his fallacies. He's too prone to public opinion, and because he's made himself into such a image that he has to perfect, that actually is a detriment to him, because when he wants to act the way he wants to, he can't. He's constrained by his actual personality that he's brought out, so he can't do certain things. So even like resting and taking time out to get basically more time, you won't do it. You have to go through and then bite, like, to prove something. It's weird with Joshua. He hasn't got anything to prove. He's proved everything he needs to prove, but he still feels the need that he has to prove everything. And to be fair, I was actually shocked at the lack of a guard, the lack of head movement, the lack of the use of the jab, and the lack of basically even any boxing ability within the fight. It was like he was just trying to line him up with big shots and try to beat Dubois at his own game, and that's why he came in so big. It didn't make sense the way he fought. It's like he abandoned whatever strategy or game plan he had and just thought, I'm going to just slug it out with Dubois. Well, if that was the case, he should have just did what he did with Ruiz and just went straight into him and steamrolled him straight away. He shouldn't even have tried to use the jab. He should have just went straight for it. He should have went straight for the big shots and hooks and just went for them. Uppercuts up close. He should have just done that if that was the case, and basically bully him. He should have just done that. You know, this putting out a feeling jab and then trying to follow up with a right, it didn't serve him any purpose, because the guy's younger than you, he's faster than you, he's got a better double jab than you. So, and he's been in 2 fights what are highly more competitive than your last 4 fights. So that should tell you something about the guy, and the guy's not fazed by you because he's beat you in sparring before. So the onus is on you to actually bring the fight to him, not let him bring it to you. If you're going to go for a shootout, if you're not and you're going to box, then you have to be more technical about it. But the fighter that fought Valin to this fighter, it's night and day. It's 2 different fighters. So maybe Valin wasn't as good as what people gave him credit for, because everyone said Valin was this, that and the other because of what he did with Fury. Maybe that Valin was good then, but obviously as time's progressed, he's not as good as people probably anticipated, because obviously Joshua's fought him before and he's sparred with him before, so he knows how he's going to fight, so he knows what to do to beat him. But anyway, again, the fight with Helenius, he struggled for long periods of time, and then when Helenius finally got complacent and sloppy, he managed to knock him out. And I think that was more relief when he knocked him out again as well, in hindsight. But anyway, struggled with Franklin, who Dillian White beat and struggled with as well. So there is that, but maybe it is the writings on the wall, and Joshua's not anything what we should expect anymore. I think that's gone. I think the British public and a lot of people were in love with the old Joshua, the knockout merchant, and that person's gone. When he started learning how to box and move and all the other stuff, that the writing was on the wall there, because if he didn't already have that in his locker and he had to learn that was because he's deficient in other things. So therein lies the problem. I think Ali Bashir says something else about Daniel, and obviously about his youth, his tenacity, his strength, and obviously his will to overcome what's happened to him in the past fights, and that's what's propelled him to become at world level. And he said he predicted that he wouldn't last 5 rounds. And the interesting thing to note about James Ali Bashir is he's trained Usyk, he's trained with Klitschko, and I think he's trained with Lennox Lewis because he was under Emmanuel Stewart. That would have been the perfect coach to have in your camp for Anthony Joshua, but for some reason he didn't want to take him on. I don't know. But anyway, I thought Joshua likes to get experience from everyone. Maybe it's to do with money, who knows. But anyway, it looks like Joshua, if he is going to be fighting on, it's just about the cash money, because he said he just fights for money. He's a prize fighter now. So, but anyway, what are your thoughts on the subject? Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Like, comment and subscribe. And that is another one from the one and only Knockout Legends. Peace.